Okay, I need to preface this video by saying that this story comes from, as far as I know, a pretty unverified source. The evidence does seem pretty damning, but I'm going to try and be skeptical and analytical about it, as best to my ability. I will be making another video when the story gets a bit more traction, if it does at all. So with that out the way, let's begin, shall we? So, I was browsing the Ralph Retort yesterday and he found a very interesting image about Anita Sarkeesian on 8chan. This is where the skeptical part of me comes into it, but we'll save that for later. Basically, this person had, or maybe he's quoting other people, having done a bit of research into her background, even further than other people had gone. Usually her history is to do with her former jobs and education and how she became what she is, but usually with her connections to people, it is to do with that, but not this one. This one calls into question some of her tweets and ideological statements. So basically, this person had dug up that Anita knows and is friends with the actress Sumaya Akeyeboon, excuse the pronunciation, and Sumaya Akeyeboon is married to Peter Rodger, who is the biological father of the Isla Vista killer Elliot Rodger. She therefore was his stepmother, not his biological mother, because he was mixed race. I think that was Asian. She's Moroccan, I think. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's continue. So, Anita is a friend of the stepmother of Elliot Rodger. The same Elliot Rodger she shamelessly used as an example for ideological purposes. Let's remind ourselves of that. To quote, "We need to seriously address connections between violence, sexism, and toxic ideas of manhood before boys and men commit more mass shootings. Not a coincidence, it's always men and boys committing mass shootings. The pattern is connected to ideas of toxic masculinity in our culture." An important question few are asking: why are 98% of school shooters male? Here's a 2012 article on the phenomenon. We don't need to link or discuss that article. And finally, mass shootings are one tragic consequence of a culture that perpetuates toxic ideas of masculinity. This is how patriarchy can harm men too. Now, I could bore you on how intellectually this is a pile of shit, but first I have to show you the evidence of this connection. Now, bear in mind, it's not exactly 100% verified, but this is all from social media like Flickr, Facebook and other websites, and it seems pretty damning. If this is true, then Anita has a lot to answer for. However, it doesn't seem to be getting a lot of traction outside of Ralph's original article, and now it's now an archive thread on 8chan. I mean, look at the photos. She's taking photos of Akeyeboon's wedding and posing with her friends. This is all rather hilarious when you look at it. To me, this is a damning and an irony that is just too ironic to be true. The fact she has these connections is just astonishing. It just shows how she's willing to go to advance her agenda and to make money. She's willing to use her friend's stepson as an example of the evils of men and masculinity, and to advance the cause of radical feminism. I mean, it's cheap coming from Anita when she and other feminists and SJWs like Arthur Chu were trying to link Gamergate to Elliot Rodger, as if to say that video games and gaming culture was the reason why Rodgers went out to shoot a load of innocent people, rather than the most obvious reason, because he was mentally unstable and sexually frustrated, which is a dangerous combination, but I digress. I mean, just look at this tweet she made about him. Remember, Elliot Rodger used the internet to make threats ahead of his misogynist rampage. Schools must always make sure online threats are taken seriously. I mean, he used the internet? Seriously, Anita? Well, I guess we have to regulate and censor it, because we can't have middle class people feeling uncomfortable now, can we? Threats should be taken seriously, but not to the point of authoritarianism. The fact she may well have known the man speaks volumes. We're supposed to be the ones connected to these people, yet here we have Anita actually connected to a Stonewall shooter. As if it can't get any more ironic than that. Of course, an image of her connections, in my opinion, is just a little light, but if I can get more people to view this story, hopefully more people with the resources to dig more information can do their jobs if they know about it. But we can't blame Rodger's actions on FemFreak either, as much as we would like to. I mean, it would be far too easy to say that her ideas of toxic masculinity, if you heard it enough ad infinitum, would make a man really sad and depressed, but that would be stupid to her level of lowlifeness. All it shows is how the social justice community are the problematic ones, not us. And if anything, it shows how horrible she can be if she's using her own friend's son to advance a cause. I'd have had all contact with her if I were Akeyeboon. I mean, Regardless of his actions, he was a stepson. And maybe I'm projecting or pissing in the wind, but I'd probably still feel attached despite his actions, as well as conflicted. And to see a friend using his death for publicity, it would leave a horrible taste in my mouth, to put it lightly, but that's just my opinion, man. So anyway, this has been Charming Man 93. Like, share and comment, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later.